what we do is we go out into the community with our outreach project that we all sit down and all of us, number one, we all have a like mind, and we're committed to giving back to our communities. I myself, I just did 31 years and 10 months. Yesterday was like my 14th month being released. Since I've been released, I've hooked up with these brothers, and as I said, we sit down and we picked out target areas. These areas that we went to first, we deem these to be the most needed areas that actually needed, our presence. Now, what our presence bring, our presence bring a listening ear, a sincere heart, with the total thing being that we're trying to help. We want to know what problems that they're dealing with. For the most case, we all have been through something in life. Everyone goes through something in life. And we feel it's very important that everyone knows that no matter what it is you go through, that you're never alone. So we take this message to them, and we ask a series of questions. We ask them how they're doing, if there's anything we can help them with, and if there is anything that we can help them with, we will. And if, for instance, like a couple of weeks ago, we were at Martin Luther King Avenue, and I had a chance to speak to a young guy who was a little impaired. He had been incarcerated, and he was out, and he was down on his luck. Well, I had a chance to sit down with him one-on-one, and I passed, Curtis, can you handle those cards? I handed him one of these cards here, and you'll notice on that card right there, there's a list of numbers. Okay, I'm the third number on the list, so I explained who I was and my reasons for being there, and I wanted him to know that for whatever it is he's going through, I got an opportunity to share my experiences, some of my experiences. Once he found out how long I was locked up and what I had been going through, it kind of brought a little more clarity to him in his situation. But it didn't get him all the way out of the water, but what I was able to do was to tug at his heart and make him understand that, man, that, see, God isn't a respecter of persons, and that he wasn't alone, and that he has an advocate. See, because one of the big things that's going on out there in our communities is a lot of people are getting caught up in the peer pressure and things of that nature. Well, for the most part, if I'm in the streets and I'm getting ready to do something, or if my friend is getting ready to do something, and he's saying, come on, T, with me, because of peer pressure, more oftentimes than not, I'll follow him blindly. Well, consequently, with him having this card, whenever he feels as though he's getting ready to do anything that's considered irresponsible or that's going to get him into trouble, he can call any number on there. All of those brothers, they're like change agents, such as those are our cell phone numbers, and they can call us at any hour. Well, this same kid called me less than a week later, about 2:30 in the morning, telling me that he had a friend, he's still down on his luck, and he wanted some money. And that friend wanted to rob somebody. Well, slow down for a minute. I say, well, have you thought this thing through? See, because, prior to our last conversation, like I explained to him, see, I've been there and I've done that. I am a product of the streets. When I was coming up, no one ever looked at me and said, William T., slow down, you're going the wrong way. You need to think this thing through. So consequently, I made the very bad decisions at a young age. But I went to jail for 388 months. Through it all, I've grown, I've matured, and I've changed. And along with the change comes the desire to give back to the same community, the opposite way opposed to the way that I had. No one spoke to me. So I made a pact with God that I would make a change. Then once I met these brothers right here, and we were, like I said, we're all of the same mind. We're rather than talking about what the problem is, because we all know what the problem is. We've been there. We've been in the streets. So I pretty much know what's actually lacking there. So all I need is for someone to have, to have enough faith to step out there and to communicate with them. And basically, this is what we've been doing.
We've been educating around making the box also, and asking to call the council members and tell them they support a man in boxing. And we also did voter registration too with the community, letting them know your vote does count if you register X number of people. And then we get them to fill out this little survey, finding out some other needs. And support of what we're doing. This is not a program, this is just people who care. It's almost going back to the village concept, that we can take care of our community, but we gotta be in action mode to do that. And a lot of times people have a lot of conversation about what we need to do and what's wrong with the community, but a lot of people are not willing to put the work in unless they're getting paid or they're trying to figure out how to get paid.
That's true.
So what we're saying is let's do it. And what's beautiful about these brothers, all their hearts are in the right place. And they say, let's just go. Let's just do it versus talking about what's wrong with the community. Because truth be told, we're part of the problem. And what's wrong with the community at one point in our life.
And I think,
Now, these are the pictures you wanted them to see, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring him a whole set because he's special.
Okay.
He's truly
Well,
special.
unfortunately, he's not here this time.
Right, he's up in the oversight here.
So he's out of the building.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do, I'll give you my card.
Okay.
Okay,